The test match at Edgbaston is now over. Now the focus for India will be on the white ball series. Three T20Is, three ODIs against England, followed by three ODIs and five T20Is against the West Indies. That will round off a pretty busy July and August. Heading into the first T20I at Edgbaston, Rohit Sharma had his pre-match press conference. Yes, the Indian cricket team captain is back after recovering from COVID, and most of the questions were centered around Rohit Sharma's recovery as well as preparation for the ICC World T20. This three-match series against England is considered to be vital in ensuring that India establishes a core of their players heading into the ICC World T20 in October. This question was asked about whether India views this series against England as preparation for the ICC World T20. To this, Rohit Sharma had a very, very interesting take on this. In the pre-match press conference, Rohit Sharma said, "Of course, we are keeping an eye on the ICC World T20. It is not a preparation." Yes, he did say that. It is not a preparation. Every game matters. We want to come here and tick most of the boxes. We want to get the job done. While we are keeping one eye on the World Cup, we want to ensure that we do the job even here. There are younger players to represent the country coming off through the performances in the state and IPL teams. They deserve the opportunity. So what we have all assumed that perhaps in the England series we will have a core of players that will ensure that we have a settled team heading into the ICC World T20 in October. That is probably not happening. There will be more chances given to youngsters. There will be more opportunities given to the other players. So establishing that core, we may have more experimentation yet. Big boy, Rohit is back in action at 1.5 months. Yes, big boy. The entire focus was on Rohit coming back after 1.5 months. Remember, after the Mumbai Indians versus Delhi Capitals game, Rohit has not played. He did play the practice game in Leicestershire, but on the third day, we all found out why he was not on the field. He was diagnosed for COVID, and he did say that it was pretty difficult for him. When asked about his COVID recuperation and all that, Rohit Sharma did say, "It has been 8-9 days since I got COVID-19. We have seen that when a player gets COVID, they have responded in a different way. I don't know what will happen ahead." He just was very, very sad that he had to miss the decider in Edgbaston. He was very sad about that. He did mention it. So it is never an easy situation when you miss games. There were days when I was struggling a little bit. So Rohit Sharma's COVID diagnosis is really, really problematic. He did suffer. One hopes that he remains in ultimate fitness. Rohit is absolutely fit. He will lead India in this series. Now, a question was posed about Umran Malik. Remember, Umran Malik made his debut in the series against Ireland, and he did defend 17 runs in the last over. In this, he made another huge revelation. When asked about Umran Malik, the question was, Umran Malik had impressed everyone in the IPL, will you use him? Rohit Sharma said this, "Yes, he is very much in our plans. We are trying to give him the understanding as to what the team requires from him. There will be times where we want to try out few guys. Umran is definitely one of those guys. Keeping one eye on the World Cup, we want to see what he has to offer for us." So, it is quite perhaps an indication that Umran Malik is in the broader scheme of things when it comes to the World T20. Remember, after the England series, India plays 5 T20Is against the West Indies. Potentially, Umran Malik might get a bigger role there as well. Because there is something in Umran Malik about the pace factor. We have all been saying that pace could be the key in Australia. So, is Umran Malik playing Raghav? Umran Malik is probably not playing, he's playing the series, but he's probably going to get a longer rope. He will get more matches and he will stake a claim for the ICC World T20. But he said he can bowl fast. We all saw it in the IPL. It is just about giving him the role, whether it is a new ball, middle or back end. When you play for the franchisee, roles are different. For the national team, it is different. So Umran Malik might have a different role. He may be used in the middle overs. At the death overs, probably with Bumrah around, you may not have a chance. In the power play, Shami and Bumrah may not, or even Bhuvneshwar for that matter, he may not have that chance. So, let us assume that Umran Malik is used as your gun enforcer in the middle overs. That might be the situation. But looking at this quote from Rohit Sharma, Umran Malik might definitely get a bigger rope in the near future. So that is the thing that we have come to understand from the T20Is. Will Rohit Sharma play the W at T20? Look, there were no questions asked about the selection that happened for the ODIs. But looking at it, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Jasprit Bumrah might play the T20Is. Because look, after the end of the England series, England will anyway play, they will play 2 games. The likes of Virat and Jasprit and Rishabh Pant will play 2 games. Why didn't they play the first T20? Because of just a 1-day gap. After the test match, immediately playing a T20I would have resulted in some fitness issues. So that is why it did not happen. So there was no questions asked on the selection for the West Indies ODIs. But the selection for the T20Is might possibly take a lot longer. I mean, they can announce it, say, 1 week prior to the T20s. After the England T20Is, India play 5 in the West Indies, 5 potentially in the Asia Cup, and if you have to look at it, even a couple of bilateral series against Sri Lanka and Australia. Amrik Singh is saying India definitely needs a left-arm fast bowler, so Arshdeep should have given more chances. Arshdeep is being included in the West Indies ODI series, Arshdeep. Let me tell you one thing, Amrik. Arshdeep is in the ODI team for the West Indies. So AJ Iskon saying that every captain is not preparation. This is also a big match for us. It's not like match practice. They say that in that sense. AJ Iskon, look, ideally, why I focus on this particular point is, ideally, with just 2 months to go, you would want to settle down on a core. When I had asked former India wicketkeeper Sabah Karim that when should India start playing with a settled lineup, he said you should start playing it around the England series. So probably it might happen on games 2 and 3. Probably you might see your World T20 squad at that time. Phoenix is asking how many ODIs in the West Indies. There will only be 3 ODIs, Phoenix, and there will be 5 T20Is. In a way, it makes sense that you are not focusing that much on the ODIs because look, until November, you're not going to play any ODIs. So why devote that much time and energy to it? So it probably makes sense because it's a T20 a year. Then a few more questions. Why Prithvi Shaw in particular totally out of the scheme? Well, they are totally out of the scheme now since it's World T20 year. Probably they'll get a chance maybe in the next cycle. Last year you added Venkatesh, Varun Chakar, this year Umran. All these look 1-year wonders. Hemant Kanwal, well, there is a fair bit of skepticism that you have. It is true. I'm not discounting that. But perhaps Umran Malik might give you a different edge altogether. So that is why. Can Rishabh Pant be a T20 opener? Shubham Sunil Gavaskar has come exclusively on Sports Today to exactly tell this. You can check out that video that we have on our channel. So any questions about his own form? There were no questions asked, and let's hope that he stays in form. So thank you so much guys for listening to this video. We'll be back with more updates from Sports Today. Press the like, comment and share button, folks. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you.